towards the midway point of this first half. If you're a late joiner, Henning Mkhitaryan with the breakthrough goal 10 minutes in.
No scorpion kick. there's time yet.
In the way, and Matic, room for Manchester United in the wide areas. It's Valencia, and look at the pace here. He is firm past Daniel Pavlovic, and a chance to measure this cross. Mkhitaryan again, parried away by Pugioni. At that right hand side, Valencia in particular causing all manner of problems for Sampdoria. It's picked up by Lucas Torreira. Pavlovic with the veteran Pugioni. Viviano, the one-time Arsenal goalkeeper, on the injured list at the moment. Gianpaolo. Torreira. Dragged back by Pogba.
Yeah, really good penetration again from Manchester United on this right-hand side. Great to see this Valencia 1v1 situation get the better of his man. Pavlovic gets his head up. This is the quality that I'm talking about, which we didn't see from Darmian on the other side. Steadies himself and whips in a great ball with his right foot. Having him have a look up here, looks who's in the box and actually picks out Mkhitaryan. It's a decent header as well. Not easy, has to slightly check his run. That's all you could ask for, really. Find the target, make a good connection. That's exactly what he did. Again, Mkhitaryan getting into the areas where you want to see.
There was that period last season when it looked substituted at half-time in the derby and didn't start a game again, I think, until November. But he turned it round, got in the manager's good graces again. He's certainly a goal scorer. You look at his last season with Shakhtar, 29 goals. His last season at Dortmund, 23 goals. You can get him in the right areas and he'll have plenty of chances with Manchester United.
That's the key thing, like you said, there's get him in the right areas. To do that, you need to get him probably in his best position. Easier said than done. I know it's a team game, but somebody can guarantee you that amount of goals and assists from the central area. The temptation is to mould your team around them and get him into that kind of number 10 position in that central area alongside Lukaku.
And here goes Lukaku. The number 9 jersey worn with such distinction by Zlatan Ibrahimovic last season. Look to bend it.
Who's spinning and running that right-hand side channel and then driving at as the defender on the inside, looking to just shift it onto that left foot. Not even look at the passer from this situation. There's just looking to curl it into that opposite corner. We've seen this time and time again from him in an Everton shirt. Good to see Pogba make the box. That said, I don't think Paul Pogba ever thought that pass was going to come. But that's the type of run Manchester United have spent the sum of money that they have on Lukaku.
71 goals in the last 3 seasons for Everton. To Manchester United to pay big money to secure his services. 3 goals, as we said already, in pre-season for Romelu Lukaku, scoring against Real Salt Lake. He might be part of a trivia quiz question in years to come. Lukaku's first Manchester United goal, then Manchester City and Vålerenga as well. Marcus Rashford finished last season in that central area with the injury to Ibrahimovic. Where do you expect to see him play in the main this season? Right side, left side?
Play that lad anywhere. There's anywhere across the forward line in a wide area. I think he improved there on the left-hand side last year. I think he improved and he developed his game understanding, got better. Physically, he's getting stronger. Look at this formation today where they're playing with a front two. You can see Rashford playing up there alongside Lukaku, even playing with Mkhitaryan if Lukaku wasn't available. So it's Rashford's versatility at such a young age, his adaptability, which is probably his most impressive feature at this moment in time.
Scored some big goals in the knockout rounds of the Europa League as well when Manchester United really needed them. Marcus Rashford, here goes Pogba. Scored in that final against Ajax. Some width on it, Valencia. Backed up by Pereira. Sampdoria, lots of bodies on the edge of the area, but unable to dispossess the muscular Lukaku. And now it's Lindelof. Valencia. Pavlovic looking to give himself a head start this time. Pereira with the run in behind. Magini well positioned. It's Torreira with the help of Prayer to work it away for Sampdoria. Matic for Darmian. Pogba. Mkhitaryan. Torreira snaps into the tackle.
Pereira's final ball hasn't quite been of the highest quality so far. As we mentioned, the runs that he's been making, that inside right channel, which have been good. Just his final product, his final cross there a few moments ago, not beating the first man, not quite good enough. And when he gets these opportunities, Pereira, he really does have to impress there, such as the talent around him in the squad, vying for a position that forward line. Rashford, you mentioned Lingard, Mkhitaryan, Man and Marshall, we know who they are. Perisic potential to come into the side as well. You get an opportunity like this, even albeit in a pre-season friendly, someone like Pereira, you've got to take it. You've really got to stamp your authority and make an impression with the manager. Otherwise, your next opportunity may be 3-4 months away.
Foul by Matteo Darmian. Sampdoria at the moment operating with 10. Caprari has come off the pitch. Difficult enough for them with 11 against the Manchester United. That would look good for almost 27 minutes now.
You've got to keep the ball there in these moments. You're a man down. You should be able to do that technically. Generally very good players. The Italians, unfortunately, are giving it away. Draw pressure on themselves.
It's picked out by Bloom to find Mkhitaryan. Here is Pogba into the penalty area. Is it just behind Lukaku? Pavlovic with a hurried clearance, and not long until Manchester United have it back again. Valencia. So it's a Pereira. And he's got a lot of technique and a lot of talent. Free kick taker. That sat there nicely for him. He'd love that moment back again, I'm sure.
Yeah, high level of difficulty. There's ideally want to be taking this, opening your body up and taking it on your left-hand side. He's predominantly right foot. It's the more difficult skill. Very hard to execute. Doesn't make the connection that he wanted. He knows it. Not an easy skill that though, off your right-hand side from that particular position on the football pitch.
Taken quickly, a bit too quickly. Now we're hearing Caprari won't be returning. No sign of a substitute ready to go just yet from Marco Giampaolo. Manchester United take advantage of the man advantage here. Lindelof rolls it forward to Valencia. Lukaku running that channel again. Testing the pace and strength of Regini. Back on the inside, Mkhitaryan wanting to be set up on the edge. Lukaku going it alone, and credit Regini who stood his ground. Sampdoria skipper. Pereira in towards Pogba, wrestling for a position with Silvestre from an offside position.
Yeah, Regini's got to be having a word with his left back, Pavlovic, now to say just keep your position alongside me. It's 3 or 4 times now. Lukaku's isolating him in 1v1 situations. Probably didn't make the best of the opportunity. Lukaku does when he checked back onto his left foot. Could have picked out potentially Mkhitaryan on the edge of the box. Got dispossessed.
Well, Caprari has come back on. Sampdoria back to the full complement. Good season for him. By Sampdoria standards, a 10 million outlay is quite a vote of confidence in a 23-year-old former underage international. His debut for Roma as a 17-year-old in the Champions League. Didn't quite make the breakthrough there. A few spells at Pescara. Inter Milan snapped him up last season, but held him straight back. But with Sampdoria losing Luis Muriel, their 13-goal striker of last season, to Sevilla, and Patrick Schick, looks like he'll be on the way as well. Was set for Juventus, but rumour has it failed a couple of medicals. Now Inter Milan appear to be the destination for him. It's a little high and aggressive from Matteo Darmian.
Good to see the Milan clubs back in the market for the top players. Seem to be in the ascendancy. Both Inter and AC. Yeah,
Milan with wholesale changes this season.
Yeah, it's good to see. Two wonderful football clubs have been in the doldrums to a certain extent for quite some time now. Great to see them back competing at the highest level again, Champions League.
Well, it was Inter Milan, Jose Mourinho's Inter Milan, the last Italian side to win a European trophy back in 2010. Prior to that, in terms of the Champions League, it was AC Milan. Juventus have been the dominant force by a distance. With a notable nod to Napoli and Roma for attempting to challenge them in recent seasons, but the Agnelli dynasty has seen Juventus dominate Serie A. Will this year be different, we wonder? Sampdoria not expected to be up there, but I'm sure they'd love to give themselves a shot at maybe a European place come the end of the season, but as the manager was talking about earlier, Marco Giampaolo, lots of young players to bet in here.
Tough days for the reasons that we've said. Expect better seasons from Inter and AC Milan this season. Roma and Napoli have been very consistent over the past couple of years. Some talented players within those squads as well. Lazio you can mention, so it's going to be very difficult for this Sampdoria team, maybe even to improve on their 12th position of last year.
Matic, and again simple, puts the right pass, Darmian. Pogba ahead of the ball, Lukaku likewise, Mkhitaryan on his inside. Squeezes it down the line for Pogba. There's the cross towards Lukaku. And spectacularly away by Christian Puccioni.
It's a natural partnership there. There's the link-up play between Pogba and Lukaku. That's why you want to see Pogba as high up the pitch as he can. He's got that ability to get his head up and clip those clever little balls into good areas for Lukaku to go and compete and attack.
Lots of stories on the arrival of Lukaku about Pogba being a big reason for it. Valencia. Pavlovic, you can see, is worried again, retreating all the way, waiting for support.
Yeah, been in that position many a times, Des. Against an opposition player, very much quicker than you.
Oh, Lukaku combining with Valencia. Last touch from Lukaku, just a fraction heavy. Foot high from Mkhitaryan. Neil Doyle, referee allows the advantage until there is none. And he will bring it back for a Sampdoria free kick.
I don't know if we're allowed to make any small criticism of players who cost anywhere between 75 and 90 million pounds, but certainly in his early years, Lukaku, certainly at Chelsea, the criticism was the quality of his play with his back to goal in congested areas, as he got the ability to get his head up, play little combinations, 1-2 passes in tight confined areas around the penalty box. I think that's an area of his game which still he can make improvements with and get better.
His Anderlecht debut 8 years ago as a 16-year-old. He's been around a lot, Lukaku. Chelsea didn't work out. He had a couple of good loan spells at Everton and West Brom. The last 3 seasons, as we said, over 70 goals in total for Everton. Last season, only Harry Kane scoring more in the Premier League.
You think of those goals, you think of the contribution he made last year. There's Lukaku's goals. You think of him, you know, charging into the channels, running to space and behind, getting himself into 1v1 situations with defenders.
Look at that from Pogba again, and the layoff from Valencia for Lukaku. Mkhitaryan, Lukaku again trying to force his way through.
Yeah. Just wasn't on theirs, was it? Needed a little bit more subtlety there to get his head up, maybe even work a little 1-2 again with the players around him. He's a little bit head down, looking to bulldoze his way through people, which wasn't really on that occasion.
That's gone well for Manchester United so far with this change of system tonight. 3 at the back. Lukaku leading the line. Matic showing up well on his debut. And Valencia a real threat down that right-hand side. And off he goes again. Support inside from Lukaku. Shows the side Linity. Good work by the diminutive figure of Lucas Torreira, though. Stuck to his task, won the ball. Sampdoria again unable to hold it. Pereira. Valencia realising he was offside, lets it run.
It's a poor pass. We saw the advantage of having Matic in that central area. The couple of times United have given it away, Sampdoria have looked to break out, immediately sensed danger. They've stepped inside and won back possession for his team and just kept it simple. It's a strong area of Matic's game, being disciplined, holding that central area of the pitch, anticipating counter-attacks and dealing with them high up the pitch and getting his own team back on the ball very quickly.
That selection for the first Premier League game in particular against West Ham will be intriguing from a Mourinho point of view. Valencia, Mkhitaryan is on the penalty spot. Here is Pogba. Sets up Valencia again. Mkhitaryan's flicked header. Really got plenty on the last one.
Yeah, I like what I'm saying, Des. I like the fact I'm seeing Paul Pogba getting himself into the penalty box, looking to link up high up the pitch. The ball eventually does come in. There's Mkhitaryan again, alongside is Lukaku, really playing as a central striking partnership when the ball comes into the box. Darmian as well, committing himself to getting at the back post, making up the third player in the box. That's good to see, but I like the decisions that Paul Pogba's making early in the game. Not looking to come too deep, not looking to dominate the ball every single time Manchester United have possession. Stay away from the ball, keep yourself higher up the pitch, and look to impact the game a little bit higher up the pitch where he has the skill set to go and do it.
Well, maybe a bit of a stretch, but Mkhitaryan could have had a hat-trick of headers in this first half. Getting into the right areas, though. Valencia. Number 2-1, but maintains possession for his side, makes it to Pereira. Smalling. Now Pogba. Pogba as well with this obvious licence to roam now with that anchor of Matic in midfield. Was a slight criticism last season that maybe he didn't score enough goals. Yeah. Weighed in with a few towards the end of the season. I think he ended up maybe with 9 for the campaign in total. Maybe just a looser role for him this season.
Yeah, but he needs to roam higher up the pitch. There's ahead of the ball. Last year he was roaming too deep, coming too close to his centre-halves. He's a very good pass to the ball.
There's Pereira found onside, looks to drill it towards Lukaku, slice behind Vasco Regini. Yeah. And this overworked Sampdoria defence.
Just finishing the point on Pogba, I mean, you can't be too critical of him. You say when he comes deep, he hasn't got the ability to play the ball from back to front, those big diagonals, but he actually has. But I feel he'd carry an even bigger threat higher up the pitch, leave that job to Matic further down the pitch, and get himself alongside Lukaku and Mkhitaryan higher up and go and combine with them.
Corner. Near enough on that. Piece is picked up by Valencia. Manchester United start again with Lindelof. Looking to show his passing ability. Smalling. First time cushion layoff for Blind. They've worked this well, Manchester United. That's too high for Lukaku, picked up by Pereira. Left-footed, hands it up towards the back post. And there's time for Jacopo Sala. And straight into Matic.
Did he take a number, Des? That's a bit out of order, isn't it?
Well, she'll remember his debut as much as he will now, I think.
Came over and put his sweaty hands all over it. Oh dear. Yeah, it was a nice touch from Matic. He smashed the ball, made contact with her. Got a bit embarrassed. But again, there's Manchester United losing possession of the ball. Matic just striding across the pitch there. He has a real imposing physical presence in that area of the pitch. Looks simple enough, but just a good read of the game, anticipating where the danger is and getting across and dealing with it. And that's goal dust for those Manchester United defenders.
Regini played it forward, the layoff from Pratt. Unity working hard on the edge of the Manchester United area. Pratt to play it in towards Quagliarella. Lorenzo had made a run from midfield as well. Sampdoria with a corner.
Haven't exactly been bowled over by that Manchester United back three there. I've got to be honest with you, I haven't been severely tested, but when Sampdoria have got the ball in those areas high up the pitch, been a little bit nervous. Approach from the three defenders, a little bit unsure themselves in that particular system.
Caprari to take. 5 in the penalty area. Barreto at the near post. Pogba soaring to head away. And further on its way by Blind. And now all the way back with Puccioni. Salah. He operated earlier in his career as a midfielder, Jacopo Sala, converted to right back these days. Quagliarella, the man who's come closest for Sampdoria so far, with that attempted lob over De Gea. A terrific player he's been down through the years, various clubs, including league-winning medals back to back with Juventus.
Be a good partner for Caprari. There's this season, his experience, his qualities. And the young striker who's come in with some pressure on the shoulders will benefit from that. Having a player of that experience alongside you, giving you good information, almost learning the game from him, can only help him.
Salah digs out across, Smalling on the stretch. Works it out of the penalty area. Last 5 minutes of the first half, the goal from Henrik Mkhitaryan. Manchester United with more chances to add to it, through Mkhitaryan in particular. Sampdoria caused some problems in the final third. Brilliant turn from Caprari. On the shoulder from Daley Blind as well. First real glimpse of Caprari's ability there.
That was great skill. Just again, you see this defensive weakness there, Danny Blind, in 1v1 situations. When you're playing a back three, you will get isolated down the sides. Good footballer, Danny Blind, technically very good player, but not the most mobile or the quickest, and can get exposed in these 1v1 situations as he was then.
Now, I know you say we remember the old days fondly, but Daley Blind.
Touche, Des. Apologies, apologies.
Now Pavlovic, the left back, coming across to take this one. It's a bit of whip on that. Good looking delivery. Oh, and almost an own goal from Lindelof. A clever free kick from Pavlovic. Plenty of zip behind that.
It was. I'm a bit surprised it was such a poor clearance. I mean, there wasn't too many Sampdoria players around him. I thought he would have picked up the flight of the ball a little bit quicker. I know it was whipped in with a bit of pace, but would have expected him to sort his feet out a little bit quicker than that. Looked a little bit panicky, the clearance.
Pavlovic will take the corner. Would have been an uncontested take for De Gea, but Pogba decided to take matters into his own hands.
A big shout from the goalkeeper there. There's De Gea. Not too sure there was.
You know, Sergio Romero, the former Sampdoria goalkeeper in the Manchester United party tonight. Reserve goalkeeper, if we see him, will be Joel Castro.
Certainly no deficiencies in that department for Manchester United. There's Romero put himself really well towards the tail end of last season. He's absolutely rock solid. You know, the quality keeper that David De Gea is.
Silvestra's under pressure here, and he needed bailing out by his centre-half partner, Virginie. You could see as soon as that ball went over his shoulder, Matthias Silvestre was looking anxiously. Where was Lukaku? How quickly was he eating up the ground there?
It was great cover from Virginie. That's the type of cover he hasn't been getting from his full-back on the opposite side. And that's what you have to deal with a player like Lukaku. You have to deal with him together collectively as a defensive unit.
Super work by Pogba after he initially lost the ball, but then Lukaku offside. Dennis Praet. Here is Linity. Of several young Polish talents across Europe starting to make a name for themselves.
Not a huge amount of pace on the side. That's pretty obvious off the back of the first half. Some decent, tidy players, technically good, but not too many players who are going to run away from you in 1v1 situations, which in the modern game is not ideally what you want. You really need pace in as many areas of the pitch as you can get it.
Well, Matic has been neat and tidy and silky so far, but leaving the foot in there on Lucas Torreira.
Don't mind that. Occasionally needs to happen, need to impose yourself. Didn't think there was much contact there. Don't see it too often though from Matic. Mistime a tackle. I think sometimes it's not a bad thing to see if you're a centre-half. You see a centre midfielder put a few people on their backsides. Can't happen too often, don't get me wrong. You have to be more disciplined than that, but they really will be reassured, those Manchester United players, by the presence of Matic, that central midfield there, the protection that they're going to get this season.
He doesn't have the level of pre-season underneath his belt that his teammates here would have, so minutes important for him tonight.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a huge fact in terms of the role that he plays. It's not as if he's been asked to play box to box and use those energy levels. It's a disciplined role which he's been asked to play, so I don't think it'll be a huge hindrance to him. He can play almost with himself 60-70% and still impact the game. He'll work on his off days, as Marina has suggested before the game, and he won't be too far off before the start of the season. But he's the type of player, the role that he's going to play in this Manchester United team, he doesn't need to be 100% fit. 78% fit is enough for his role in this Manchester United team.
Torreira will have to come off, having received treatment. Back down to 10 again, Sampdoria. Taking short between the centre halves. Here is Regini. Breakdown in communication there.
The fourth official indication there will be an additional 1 minute.
1 minute to be added on at the end of this first half. Manchester United set to take the lead into half-time. Pogba, little nudge, not unnoticed, or at least unpunished from Jacopo Sala. Quick feed from Mkhitaryan. Here is Matic. Pereira, Valencia shouting forward on that far side, and off he goes again. Finally across this time, Lukaku. It will break for him again. Once again, not for the first time in this first half. Lucas Torreira in the right position at the edge of his own penalty area.
Just that quick thinking again. They're surrounded by a couple of players, needed to get his head up. Spot where the spare Manchester United player was. It was Mkhitaryan, 10 yards to his left-hand side, just didn't see it.
Pogba might fancy this and does. Well off target, and that will be the last action of this first half.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Manchester United played within themselves, been very comfortable. Certainly some positives on the performance, the partnership of Lukaku and Mkhitaryan in particular, high up the pitch. I think Pogba's been prominent, looking to get forward at every opportunity. Some decent cameos from Valencia and Darmian on the left-hand side. Small area
of Sampdoria 0, Manchester United